Today, I'm going to be talking to you about the types of glasses that you should be using and drinking from to help you enjoy your rum more. And if you're one of those funny whiskey drinking people, you can stick around too, because who knows, you might even find this useful. Welcome back, rum fans. I'm Steve the Barman, and I'm here to help you on your rum journey by mainly focusing on rums under 50 quid. But who knows, from time to time, we do spend a little bit extra. Now, today, as I mentioned, we are going to be talking about the types of glasses that you should be using to taste and sip rum. Now, let's just debunk a couple of things here very, very quickly, because this is a question that has cropped up time and time again in Discord, in the YouTube comments, in private messages, DMs. It's like, Steve, I don't pick up the same aromas or tastes that you're talking about in your videos. What am I doing wrong? Well, there's two things here. And firstly, and I don't mean this in a patronising or hypocritical way or anything like that, you might not be as far down your rum journey as some of us. Now, in full disclosure, I am still learning. I still do not pick up a full bouquet, let's use that word, bouquet of aromas from rums. I am far from there. I am training my palate, as you'll see over in next coming videos. There's some certain things that I'm doing, I'm going to share with you there. But some of you, if you're really starting out, if you're just drinking neat rum for the first time, then obviously you're not going to be getting some of those aromas. But the other side to that is it can be down to the type of glass that you are using to drink your rum from. Now, as you can see, I've got a whole host of glasses here, but stay tuned right to the end because I've got a very special glass to share with you. It's new to me, I've had it a couple of weeks, but stay tuned for that because this will revolutionize the way I drink rum. So let's just debunk something very, very, very quickly. Look, if you are drinking rum, whiskey, hello whiskey fans if you're still with us, if you're drinking your favorite spirit from that, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Don't let anyone tell you that there is. You know, you are going to enjoy your favourite spirit from that the same as way I will enjoy something like that. Taste-wise, is the rum, is the whiskey going to taste any different? No. And I mean, that's just simple science. The same liquid that goes into that is going to go into that. The glass ain't going to make a flipping difference to how the actual thing tastes. But what will happen is that you won't be able to pick up the aromas or different sort of subtle nuances in the rum in something like that than you will do in something like this, and I'll explain why. The simple fact is, something like a Glencairn glass, let's get you a decent close-up on that. A Glencairn glass has got this nice sort of bulb at the bottom, and kind of a narrow, again, let's give you a little close up at the top there. Look at the comparison, like the sort of the opening at the top of the glass. What that does is it kind of concentrates the aromas as they come up to the top of the glass. So you've got a smaller kind of surface area, smaller opening, if you like, to kind of get your nostrils in and to really concentrate those flavours in. Whereas, so if you're smelling that, you get your whole nose in there and there's very little room for it to escape. Okay, the aromas are not escaping anywhere. Whereas if you kind of sip something or smell something from here, look at, if you can see that side on, look at the whole surface area. Unless you've got a really big snout, of course, you know, look at the surface area, all those aromas are escaping all around you. So that's why sort of like when we're tasting rum or whiskey or whatever, you know, we would use something like this. Now, I'll admit, back in my early days, even before I niched down into drinking into this on YouTube, you know, I'd quite happily drink spirits out of these. I'd love, like, I call them rocks glasses, but tumblers, whiskey glasses, old fashioned, double old fashions, rocks, like whatever you want to call them. I just you know, I call them tumblers, rocks glasses, whatever. Something like that. It's just nice, just to kind of, up in the office when I'm editing or whatever, just have a few sips from that. It really does. But you just don't get the aromas. You get the taste, but you just don't get the aromas and all that, the enjoyment of drinking rum from these. But they are a great place to start out with. Don't get me wrong. So when I like niched into doing this YouTube channel, I did invest in a load of these copper glasses, if that's what you want to call them, flipping sherry glasses. Basically, they're ISO tasting glasses. That's what they are. If you've ever gone to a spirits tasting, or sometimes even wine tasting, sometimes they'll be bigger on wine tastings. But these are proper official ISO glasses. They're kind of what the whole industry uses to taste at awards or judging and all that sort of stuff. And they're pretty damn cheap, to be fair. I've got Christ knows. You've seen them all on videos. I've got about 24 here. I've got loads more at the other studio as well. These are just brilliant. Now, the cool thing with these, because they are cheap, they are a great starting point. They have got the sort of the bulb at the bottom, so you can kind of swill your rum around like that. And they have got a slightly sort of, I don't know what the word is, pointy sort of nose. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't think what the word I'm looking for, but they kind of got this like pointy bit at the top, so it does kind of really kind of concentrate the aromas coming up there. There is nothing wrong with these. You can pick up a 12 pack of these for like £6 or £7 on Amazon. They are so cheap. Probably if you've got trade accounts or drink stuff, probably the same price, to be fair. But they are just really good. They've got a stem at the bottom, and this is the big difference, okay? Just very basics, starting off with this glass. This is the big difference, because you've got a stem at the bottom. Your hand is not coming into contact with the rum. It's a bit different from brandy, where you kind of want to warm it up and you kind of cup your hand around there. With rum and whiskey, not so much. You kind of want the temperature to stay the same, all right? Brandy comes alive when you slightly warm it up, very slightly warm it up. I'm talking like 3-4 degrees. I'm not talking like 10-15 degrees. Okay, so with something like this, Copters or ISO tasting glasses, whatever you want to call them, you can hold the glass like that and your fingers don't come in contact, your hand doesn't come in contact with the rum to warm it up. That's the difference. With something like this, you are transferring your body heat to the glass, so you are adjusting the temperature by a couple of degrees, which is again going to affect the rum, the taste, the smells that you get off that. So as I progressed down the journey, and I don't know why, there was absolutely nothing wrong with these. I don't know why, but I went to hello Dave, let's give him a shout. I went to Black Parrot down the bar in London, amazing bar. We're going to do some videos from there, we have to. But Dave's got loads of these, and they are dirt cheap off Amazon, and I've got loads of these. I've got a couple of boxes of these. These come in boxes of 6, and they are actually really good for sipping rum. The only problem I think these are actually sherry glasses, to be fair. The only problem with these is they don't have a big enough area to kind of swill and to kind of awake the aromas in there, and they don't have the sort of narrow opening at the top to get the aromas. But for sipping, for tasting, for tiny neat daiquiris, you can walk these out for little daiquiri samples. They are perfect. But I love them. I've still got them, but for tasting rum and getting the aromas, they don't work so well for me. So where I did actually progress to is something like that. And actually, I've just had to dig it out. I completely forgot all about that. Jazz Indian Chet from Skylark Spirits actually sent me a couple of these. I've got 2 of these. Now these, I flipping absolutely, I think the shape of that glass, if you put that on the close-up, the shape of that is absolutely amazing, because you have got a really big bulb at the bottom there to swill it around, and you have got a really condensed small opening at the top. It really does focus those aromas. They are fantastic. Actually, to a certain point, better than that. It really is. The only problem is you have to hold the glass, so you're heating. What I was finding is that you are heating the rum up very slightly, whereas something like this is just better because your hands don't come in contact with the actual glass, with the actual where the rum is. So I recommend this, and there'll be links in the description downstairs of where you can get these from. I really do like them, and I would have invested in more of them, except I want it to be all fancy, and I wanted to go for a Glencairn glass. I interrupt this amazing video to bring you my good friends at Stratford Soda. I absolutely love these. They're the only mixer brand in the UK dedicated to rum, low in sugar, low in carbonation, made with natural fruit juices and all that stuff. I absolutely love them because they don't make me burp, and they taste absolutely amazing. As I said, the low in sugar thing really does help if you want to make some fun cocktail riffs as well, because if you add sugar to your favourite mixes, that you're adding sweetness to an already sweet mixer, whereas if you add sweetness to this, you kind of still add less sugar than what a normal mixer would be. So today I've actually mixed the citrus, but I wanted to go a bit crazy. I've mixed it with Monin's hibiscus and just the white rum again. So kind of to explain what the citrus is, it's kind of like a long daiquiri. So I've kind of got a long hibiscus daiquiri, which is phenomenal. There's 4 in the range. The tropical, the citrus, the spiced, which is cinnamon and ginger, cinnamon forward with ginger, and the hedgerow, which is blackberry and rose. And obviously, the tropical is pineapple and coconut. If you want to get 50% off your first order, 50%, if you're in the UK, mind, there's a link that will auto-populate at checkout on the party packs and the taster packs. So if you're in the UK and you want to try these, you've now got no excuse. Right, cheers, back to the video. Now, whiskey lovers will be no strangers to the Glencairn Glass. It's been around for donkey's years. I mean, absolutely donkey's years. I've now got 6 of them. They come in a pack of 6, so I've now got 6 of them. I still can't decide whether I actually prefer them better to what I do these. The chances are, though, they are a little bit more Steve the Barman friendly, as in I can quite easily, I've already broken one of these to be fair, whereas I think I'm going to struggle in the same way that I would struggle to break those. I think I'm actually going to struggle with these. They have got a little nice sort of stem, so your hand doesn't really come into contact if you don't want it to with the actual glass. But the one thing I do love about this, it is slightly bigger. You can kind of see, if I hold it there, you can kind of hopefully sort of see, it is slightly bigger. You have got more room to kind of swill. What's the word? Swirl, whatever the word is I'm looking for. To kind of swirl a rum around in the glass to wake the aromas, to get the residue of the rum halfway up the glass. So you are really concentrating those aromas as you smell. Oh, this is absolutely lovely. Tropical fruits. Oh, it's so good. But there is one thing, another glass that has absolutely revolutionized, and I've had it now a couple of weeks, and it's just completely changed the way I drink rum. But before I show that, I just want to clarify one thing. I think that one of these 2 glasses is, if you really want to start picking out aromas and different tastes, see, I nearly went there. If you want to pick out different aromas and tastes, I really do think you need something with that sort of shape, because they are just these worlds apart. The big difference for me, I notice huge difference from tasting rum in something like this to tasting rum in something like that. Really do. So I think they are the benchmark. I think if you want to, these are a lot cheaper, and you can buy these singly. You can buy Glencairn separately, but they are about £6, whereas something like this is a couple of quid. But there's just something about the Glencairn. I've always wanted one. You know, I've kind of resisted the urge, but I've just done it. I've just loved them. But if you want to go to the next level, this next glass is just gonna change the way you drink rum, because this, boys and girls, is the professional blenders tasting glass. Not cheap, about 25 quid a glass, but you can kind of see how that differs, and I'll kind of hopefully you should be able to see it on the close-up, but hopefully you'll kind of see that at the top there if I kind of give it a spin. Absolutely. And it's, do you know what, I was, when I ordered it, I was quite, actually, that's not going to last long. You know, I've already nearly knocked that over in this video. That's really not going to last long. It looks so delicate. It's actually not. It is actually thicker than what the Glencairn glass is. It's actually pretty damn solid. And I think even if I did kind of knock it over like that, I think it would kind of bounce a couple of times, if you like. But this, as I say, this is professional whiskey, blenders, rum, whatever you want, whatever your spirit is, but it's a professional blenders glass. Now, what this does, I'm going to use it with some of my nice new Eldorado 15 that I absolutely love. You pour a little bit in there, right? What this glass allows you to do, we've got about the same volume in there. Look. What this really does, so you can kind of see now, you get a little bit of swirl going around there. Swirl's not the right word. What's the right word? Drop it in the comments below. Swirl. Well, I don't know what the right word is. Swirl sounds better, but that's still not right. But what this allows you to do is really, really get those aromas and that rum and that whiskey floating around the glass. Really does. But because there's such a narrow opening at the top, all those aromas are really, really concentrated. And even this to this just smells a world apart. It is insane the difference that makes. This is crazy that you do aromas you can pick off that. Whether there's also more surface area in there as well for the aromas, the residue to stick to the glass. But this is stunning. So if you do want to get yourselves one of these, I'll drop a link of where I got it from. UK this will be. I'll drop a link where I got this from in the description below. But genuinely, if you want to start picking up different aromas, different flavours from a rum, really start to get geeky with it, this thing is insane, absolutely insane. And I think I'm going to be trying to use this straight away on all my future rum tastings. I do love these and I will be drinking from these, but just to get those initial aromas, almost don't want to drink from it, to be fair. It's almost hard to drink from, to be brutally honest, but just crazy. So that's the glasses. That's where I think you should go. Start off, let's just get that one. Start off with something like that, but if you can graduate to something like that, that will change your experience of sipping rum no end. Now, if you are really getting into your neat rums and sipping rums and you want to carry further on down this journey, then check out that video right there, because that will help you even more along this path of rum loving. Cheers.